Hi, I'm Linda. I'm a registered dietitian, an exercise physiologist, and health coach for employees at Northern Kentucky University. I'm going to take you grocery shopping with me today. Michael Pollan talks about food as being minimally processed food. He also makes a point that it's important not only what you eat, but the amount you eat, which is very true with weight control. He sums this all up in his quote, "Eat food, mostly plants, not too much." A good rule of thumb when you're shopping at the grocery store and planning meals is to make healthy choices from every food group. So we already talked about produce. You want to be sure to have vegetables and fruit at every meal, and perhaps for a healthy snack or two. In addition, it's a good idea to have some type of whole grain at every meal. Whole grain is a great source of carbohydrate for quick brain fuel and energy, and healthy choices are going to provide lots of vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, and antioxidants. And by the healthiest choices are whole grains. So you want to be sure that at least half of your grain choices are whole grains. Examples of whole grains are oats and barley and brown rice, all of which are high in soluble fiber, which lowers cholesterol. High fiber foods also tend to keep you full, which is helpful for weight control as well. And can help keep you insoluble fiber, like in whole wheat, can help to keep you regular and help prevent colon cancer. Other examples of whole grains are quinoa, which is an ancient South American whole grain, which is high in protein and nutrients. You can serve it as an alternate side dish instead of rice, preparing it the same ways as you would rice. You can make it with a low sodium broth, add any type of vegetables or other protein foods to it. A couple of quick rules of thumb to make sure that your bread, cracker, or wrap or tortilla or cereal are truly a whole grain food are, number one, when you're looking at the ingredient label, make sure the first ingredient is a whole grain, like whole oats, whole wheat, whole rye, because the ingredients are listed in order of what makes up the product. Most is first, down to least for last. Also, make sure that you check out the serving size and make sure that it has 3 grams of fiber per serving. Make sure when you're looking on the label that you're comparing like serving sizes, so you're comparing apples to apples. For example, on this loaf of Wonder bread, it says made with whole grain white bread. If we look on the label, it says that there are serving sizes 2 slices, and for our first rule of thumb, it says wheat flour. That's not whole wheat flour, so it doesn't meet our first rule of thumb. And the second rule of thumb is the fiber. It does say 3 grams of fiber, but that's not per slice, as it is with many breads. That's per 2 slice serving. So there'd be 1.5 grams of fiber per slice. So it's better than a regular white, but not as good as a full whole grain product. This product, honey wheat, you might assume it's a whole wheat, and if you look on the label, it says the first ingredient is enriched bleached flour, so that's the refined flour where they've taken out many of the nutrients, fiber, etc., and added back in some of them, but not all of them. That's what enriched means. And for the fiber, there's less than 1 gram per slice, or 2 grams per 2 slices. So it doesn't meet our second rule of thumb either. So just because it's brown and says whole grain or says several grains on the labels, don't assume that it's a whole grain. This is a good example. It says 100% whole wheat. And then when we look at the label, a serving is 1 slice. The first ingredient is whole wheat flour. And there are 3 grams of fiber per serving, which is a slice. So this would be a good example of the type of bread we'd be looking for. You can follow the same rules of thumb for other grain products. For example, these crackers, a serving size is 4 crackers. The first ingredient is a wheat flour, which is not whole, and the second one is whole wheat, but yet it does have 3 grams of fiber per serving, so that would still be pretty good. Thank you for coming with me on this virtual tour of the grocery store. I hope it's helping you with your weight loss goals.